Hey viewers, we're doing something a little bit different today. As you can see, the video quality is going to look a little bit different because I am actually using our webcam, and I'm also using our Open Broadcast Studio software that my partner and I use for video game streaming to do a little bit of live editing for you today. I don't know what I'm going to title this video yet, but you know by this point, we're going to be talking about The Sims today. I want to talk to you about a new game pack that's coming out for The Sims. This is not sponsored. I just like The Sims, and this is relevant to us. The new game pack coming out from The Sims 4 is Realm of Magic. As you can see from the cover art here, it definitely looks Harry Potter inspired. We can see potion bottles and wands, spell books, and also a little flying owl friend. So there have been magic-based packs in The Sims before in previous iterations of the game, but this is the first one for The Sims 4. So there were previous ones for Sims 1 and 2. Supernatural was the name of the pack for The Sims 3 that also included fairies and werewolves and all kinds of things. Apparently, I never played it myself, but I was recently talking to one of my viewers, who plays The Sims 3 and has the Supernatural pack. So there have definitely been magic-related things in The Sims in the past. So this is not new in that sense, but it is new to The Sims 4. It's being released September 10th, so this upcoming Tuesday on PC, and it will be available for download for console players October 15th. I haven't really played The Sims since high school, and even back then, I never really played it. It was more like I went to my friends' houses and got to watch them play theirs. I never had it myself, and I don't even remember if I really ever played it at their houses. I think I just watched them play. And for the past few years, I've been watching Dan and Phil's Sims 4 Let's Play on their Dan and Phil Games channel, so that's the only reason I have felt semi-familiar with Sims 4 in recent years, because I've been watching that and then watching some other Let's Plays since then. But recently, the base game of Sims 4 was on sale for $8 US dollars. So my partner got it for me for my birthday because they know I love watching people play it, and it was on sale, so we got it. And pretty much right after that, they announced that the next game pack coming out would be Realm of Magic, which of course is really exciting because it's witches and wizards and very Harry Potter-esque. But whenever stuff like this comes out, it kind of falls into that category of media representations of witches, which is something that we like to talk about and think about. As members of the community of modern pagans, modern witches, as we are, many of my viewers, if you're watching this because of The Sims, welcome. As a lot of us know, the TV shows and movies that may feature witches that we may very well love, they're not so much true to life. They're very special effects, and they have to do with sort of folktale and fairy tale versions of magic, as does something like Harry Potter and something like Realm of Magic. So that's kind of what I want to talk about today, is a little bit about what we know of the Realm of Magic gameplay so far, how that may or may not relate to being a witch or being a practicing pagan in real life. And also, because the pack is coming out, a lot of people have been making Witchy Sims in preparation to use for the game, and not all of them are compatible with the base game only, which is what I have, and which might be what a lot of people have, because all of these game packs and expansion packs, stuff packs, they all cost extra money on top of the base game. So I want to show you a little bit of some of the lots and Sims that I've been creating that we can use in base game only to have some fun with witchy stuff, and also some free content that I recently heard about and downloaded but has been around for a little while. So if you're already a simmer, you probably already know about it. The Pufferhead Pack. So the Realm of Magic pack brings two new worlds to the Sims universe. Glimmerbrook is the new neighborhood where people will actually be able to live. You'll be able to place lots there. And there's also a magic portal somewhere in Glimmerbrook that takes you into the Realm of Magic, which is a special world, sort of like going to Hogwarts, where your Sims can meet the master spellcasters and start learning from them and learning how to do magic, create potions, all these types of things. The character type of being a spellcaster is being treated in the game as its own life type, similar to Sims being a vampire or a mermaid. So they are separate life types, and as such, I have seen some people talking about the fact that this means if you already have a vampire sim or a mermaid sim, they cannot also become a spellcaster. And that's kind of upsetting, because you figure if you already have a pretty magical creature, you might want them to also learn magic, but it is another life type itself. There are 3 different main types of magic, I guess, that I've been reading that your Sims can study, and they are practical magic, anyone, mischief, and untamed. Sounds like maybe kind of a wild magic type of thing to me. I don't know. I don't know any more details about them than the names. And there's also the alchemy sort of path that your Sims can learn alchemy, and within that, there are 15 different potions that they can learn, and within the 3 types of magic or paths of magic, I don't know the terminology here, between the 3 they can learn 24 spells, and I've read that that is the highest number of spells in any of the magic related Sims packs throughout the history of the Sims, starting from Sims 1 up to Sims 4. So that's pretty fun. If you've played those magic packs in the past, that might be something that you're really looking forward to. As I've said, I've never played them before because this is my first time having my own Sims game. Some of the other really cool things that I've read are coming in this game pack are some items that can be not only decorative, but also actually used in a practical way. So for example, there is a broom that your Sims can purchase, and it can be a home decor item. It can hang on the wall or, be wherever. And apparently it can also be set as your Sims default mode of transportation. So I believe that means it would work outside the realm of magic, but within the entire game itself, that can just be your spellcaster Sims mode of transportation. So that's pretty exciting. The other cool thing that we see in the trailer for this game pack, which I can link in the description for you, or you can very easily look up on YouTube, is this giant cauldron that we see in the trailer with 3 spellcasters around it doing their thing. The thing I like about this cauldron that I just read about it in an article yesterday or so is that it's not just a magic item where they can learn alchemy and brew potions and things like that, but it's also a practical item in that in your household, it also functions as a cooking device. So I love that little touch of realism because that is what a cauldron would be. In modern witchcraft and paganism, it's the same thing. It's an actual cooking pot that often doubles as where you bubble, where you would be brewing your potions and concoctions and things like that. So yeah, it would have been a cast iron cooking pot maybe, or even today we can use any other kind of vessel as a cauldron depending on what we are using it for. And of course, if you do identify as a kitchen witch, you may very well be using your cooking pots from your kitchen as your magical cauldron. So I did love that little touch because I feel like that makes it a little bit closer to realism, even if it is incredibly ornate. I mean, look at that cauldron. It's awesome. One other thing that we already know about the game is that there are a couple different ways that your Sims can become a spellcaster. One way is through giving them the genetic bloodline trait, which I imagine means if you have some Sims that are spellcasters and then they have a child, through the genetic bloodline trait, that child would automatically have the ability to be a spellcaster as well. That is very folklore, fairy tale stereotype of witches and magic, is that it's this innate sort of genetically passed on supernatural ability, like it is in some of the TV shows that we might love, like Charmed. So because their ancestors were witches, they are too, even if they never knew it, never worked toward it, things like that. So that is something that is not so much true in real life. In the early decades of the neo-paganism movement, especially in America, but I know this also happened a little bit outside of that, but I can't pinpoint exactly like when it started happening. But in the beginning of the neo-paganism movement, people coming out as witches today and saying, yeah, hey, I practice witchcraft, it was very common for people to make up an elaborate backstory to kind of give themselves a little more clout in the community. Like, people expected, probably because of these fairy tales and other legends and myths that we're familiar with, where we think it's a supernatural ability passed down through the blood and that you have to be from witch blood or fairy blood or whatever to be part of these lineages. It was very common for people to say that they had actually learned witchcraft from their grandmother, who learned it from her great-grandmother, and that it actually existed in your family for generations and generations, in order to sort of seem like you were legit in any way. That is no longer a thing in the community anymore. We very much recognize that most of us, or many of us I should say, because now Wicca has been around for enough decades, and the neo-paganism movement in general definitely has been around long enough that there are second, third, fourth generation neo-pagans, witches, etc., that have actually been raised with these views. So that is pretty cool. For example, I am a first generation pagan, first generation practicing witch in my family. So we do recognize that many of us are in that boat, and that it's not passed down by genetics. Even if my mom was a witch, that wouldn't automatically mean that I would have had to be one as well. Or in the future, if and when I have children, they will not necessarily automatically be pagans and witches. It is something that they can learn and choose whether or not to adopt for themselves. So something else that's a little bit of realism in that way that I appreciate that I've heard is added to the Realm of Magic pack, other than the genetic bloodline trait, your Sims can also pursue spell casting seemingly just like any other skill, and sort of ask to be made a witch, or a spellcaster, excuse me, that's the term in the game, by one of the master spellcasters through a rite of ascension. So I think that's pretty cool. Your Sims can either be born to it and have their ability to create potions, cast spells. I don't know what all it will entail, but they can also just decide to pursue it themselves. So you can have first generation spellcaster Sims. And I think that's pretty cool. That's about all I have to tell you as far as the new gameplay and stuff like that coming out. So if that's all you were here for in this video, feel free to head out. The rest of this video, I want to talk about how, since this game pack is coming out, people have been creating witch-based Sims to then play within this game pack, but some of them are a little bit too stereotypical for my liking, in that a lot of them that are base game only, mind you, because again, I only have the base game, a lot of them that I'm seeing, people are automatically creating them as evil, which is just clearly very stereotypical of witches, that people are automatically making them, giving them traits like evil, mean, jealous, giving them aspirations within the mischief category or in the deviance category, making them want to be master criminals, things like that. And I'm just like, you know, all of those things are perfectly fine for storytelling, to give you some fun things to do, but I can't help but think it's just a little bit stereotypical that most of the witch characters I'm seeing people making, they're making them evil. And that very much speaks to what people think of the character of who witches are intrinsically. And as a witch myself, in real life, I have to say I think we can do a little better and do a little bit more realism with that. I know some simmers don't care so much about realism. Other people love to make things as realistic as possible. And if we're going to make witches as realistic as possible, they should be as varied in personality as any of us, because witches are people. So I want to go into my game and show you a little bit of what I've been working on. We are here in Newcrest because this is the blank world where you can just kind of put in whatever you want. So I started by downloading versions of movie witches' houses that people have already created for the Sims 4 gallery. I know that people have created tons of witch characters and Let's Plays for like The Sims 3, for example, but what's available for the base game, at least right now, I mean, more are being added every day as we get closer to Realm of Magic being released, but like a couple weeks ago or so, when I first searched base game only witch characters in the gallery and other related terms like that, there wasn't a lot, and they were all evil, mean, you know, like evil stepmother type stuff. So I started by searching for houses that people had already made. So I'm not going to show this to you right now, but this one here is a replica someone made of the Hollowell Manor from the Charmed TV show. It's pretty darn detailed on the first floor, like the living room, the sort of conservatory area, the garden outside, the kitchen, all of that is pretty crazily detailed. People can do some really amazing things with this game. And I also downloaded some Hollowell Sisters that someone else uploaded to the gallery. So these are not things that I did, so I'm not going to show them to you here, but they are available on the gallery. And I always end up editing the things that I download to make them even more to my liking. So I've also already edited both these Sims and this household a little bit, so I definitely don't want to show you that because it's not even what you would be getting from the gallery at that point. This is one that I have been working on, so I want to show you this. I have the lot labeled Cove Cottage, but it's definitely more of a Victorian manor style. So here's the outside right now. It's very plain and brown, but yeah, I built this sort of from scratch. I had a heck of a time figuring out this roof. I'm just sort of teaching myself how the roofing tools and mechanisms really work in this. Because again, I've only been able to play it for a couple of weeks, but I have a little balcony up here, patio out here with a bar. I did create a labyrinth because, hello, why not? Did you honestly expect me not to create a labyrinth? And this is a labyrinth in the sense that there is only one path for your sim to follow to reach the center. I did make it kind of simple because any more than that, leaving enough space for them to walk, it would have taken up like so much. You could make an entire lot that is a labyrinth, and that would be pretty cool. But I did not do that. I just wanted a little tiny one in the corner that would be simple enough for them not to take forever to walk through, and they can just sit in the middle on some benches. I just have some decor here for now. And yeah, so it is not like a maze style thing where they have to choose left or right and there are dead ends and you could get stuck in it and stuff like that. It's just a labyrinth. First floor, I have a lot of this, actually all of the first floor is furnished. So I have more of the skill building things in this side. I have the TV for fun and entertainment. This is a little writing desk with the computer. We have the chess for logic skill. We have a bar here for mixology. Over here is more of the living room space, and I did kind of base this shape off of the living room of the Hollowell Manor from Charmed, but I decorated it sort of a little bit differently, but it's still very much inspired by the Hollowell main living room area. I have the fireplace here, seating. I did stick a jukebox in the corner, because why not? Oh, I want to show you that later because I love my little conservatory area. So, skill building room, show you some of the what's going on the walls. Decor here. Little knight in shining armor there. Just the stock art, again, from the base game is all I have. So, we're a little bit limited that way. This I also based off of the Hollowell Manor. Originally, the space under their stairs was a powder room, so I went ahead and did the same thing here. There's also been an update to the stairs, like just yesterday, there was installed an update, so let me show you here. We used to only be able to pop in stairs like this, and they were just straight up and down. But now you can see there's this little thing here in the middle. What's that about? Well, we can click and drag now to create angled stairs. Oh, what did that even do? Okay, there. To create angled stairs, and we can also adjust the length of each sort of leg of stairs. We can move it back again and even, yeah, swoop it around all the way. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. And then we can do this. So yeah, we can do a lot different things with the stairs now. This is a brand new patch update to the base game that just came about yesterday. So I'm really excited about that because, as you can see, if you only had the straight up and down stairs, it could be a little bit limiting. I definitely will be using the stair update for the other house that I'll show you in a second. This is my little kitchen, somewhat inspired by the Charmed kitchen, again with the range in the island, which made a lot of sense for the show because then you could see them in the middle of their kitchen with their pots on the stove, brewing things up. A beautiful little dining room here. Again, stock art. And then over here on the other side of our entryway, but across from the stairs, I made this a row of windows looking into our little conservatory area. So there is definitely, I can do more with decor on the walls, but I just loved putting all the plants, and this little table over here is really cool. This is definitely where I would sit and sling tarot cards, you know? I love the antique look. I love the furniture, hutches and things like that with like porcelain and china, stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much the first floor. The patio's outside. And then the upper floors I have not furnished yet, but this is the basic look of the upper floor. I have sort of done the master bathroom, which is accessible by both of these bedrooms, at least at the moment. I don't know if I'll change that. I would have to put another bathroom somewhere, probably, so everybody could have a shower, because downstairs is just a powder room. And then my attic is kind of a funky shape, and I've done nothing with it so far. So there is that. All the way up here in the corner of Newcrest, I wanted to create a tower, so I did that. And I made it have a green roof so it kind of blends in with the trees. I wanted to see how many floors up we can go before we have to put a roof. The answer is 4. So we have 3 floors of living space, and then this little area here with a walkway around it before we get to the roof. So this is just a tiny little area. It could only be about this big because of how big I made the base. I wanted to sort of challenge myself to decorate as small of a space as possible. The only reason I had to make the octagon-shaped rooms even as big as they are is because of these darn stairs. They have to be a certain length in order to reach however high you have the walls. You can also adjust the height of the walls. But yeah, the stairs take up a lot of space. So that's the only reason I had to make this octagon kind of as big as it even is. And I had to add a point in the back, which I didn't want to have to do. I really wanted it to be just an octagon. But I filled our little point back here with like plants on this floor, and there's a little coat rack area back there with a mirror. 1 floor up, we have, again, a plant in the corner just to take up that space. Lots of art on the walls. A little powder room here on this floor with the kitchen, tiny dining area. The sim that I created for this house I will show you later, but I also created them to be a loner, so I don't expect that they will ever be having big parties and need any more than a few chairs. And then upstairs we have their bathtub so that they can actually take care of their hygiene some more, and the toilet and sink are just in the one downstairs. So the bathroom's kind of split because of there's not a lot of room up here. And then this is their bedroom. And then again, we go up even further. The stairs come up outside here, and then they can go in here and sit down. This wall doesn't go down because it's the door, so unless I put the walls all the way down, which is kind of cute. But yeah, so this is my little tower house. And now that we can do different things with the stairs, I will probably update this before I ever upload it to the gallery or anything for other people to use, because I really do want to play with it being just an octagon. And now that we can fold the stairs and do different things with the stairs, I think I'll be able to make it fit better, and I won't have to have that point on the end. So yeah, that's a fun one that I've been working on. So I just finished showing you my tower build. I had one more build I was going to show you and a couple of sims, and the game crashed, the whole computer crashed. We have been having problems with that, so we're actually going to completely reinstall Windows because we've been trying to figure this out for a couple weeks now, and the people who designed our new gaming computer checked everything for us. They, you know, took control of the computer remotely over the phone, checked everything, and they said there's nothing else wrong with it. So we're going to reinstall Windows, which is also why I've been trying to finish up some of these builds so that I can upload them to the gallery to hopefully not lose them when we wipe the computer. But yeah, we've been having issues with it crashing, and unfortunately it just did. But I did get to show you those 2 builds that I've been working on, which is exciting. And yeah, so I just wanted to say that when I finish furnishing those things, I will be uploading things that I'm making to the gallery. I'll probably use something like hashtag cute witch builds or hashtag cute witch sims for the Sims versus the lots that I'm designing. I want to do some other very pagan and witchy based lots and rooms that you will be able to download. I don't want to give anything away, but yeah, I'm just having fun with that. Again, when I have time and the computer doesn't crash and make me have to start all over. So once we do a wipe and reinstall Windows, hopefully it'll work a little bit better and I won't have to worry about constantly losing things. So I save the game like every 2 seconds as I'm building things because I never know when it's gonna crash. And that's just like not a way to live, fam. So yeah, I can't guarantee when it will be, but as I finish these things, I will be uploading them to the gallery and characters as well. I wanted to show you a couple Sims that I've created that are just like everyday people with some interesting traits that might lend themselves to specific areas of magic that they might be most interested in. Like, I definitely have a Sim who is really interested in gardening and might have better skills in that area, loves the outdoors, things like that. And then I mentioned that the Sim I created to live in the tower is a loner, so I kind of envisioned them being kind of like an eccentric, like bookworm, very into the academic aspects of witchcraft, and so they live in this cool tower mostly by themselves. And yeah, I'm also working on a base game version of the Owen sisters from the Practical Magic movie because right now there were no base game only options for them, and if you are like me and you only have the base game, you haven't paid for any of the other expansions or anything like that, it can be kind of limiting. Or you can download content that other people have created that does require other packs, but whatever items they've used from those other packs will just disappear. So if you find like Sims that someone's created that look really perfect, like realistic to the person that you're trying to get, you can always dress them yourself and things like that. But yeah, I am working on Jilly and Sally from Practical Magic. They are pretty much done, but I'm trying to fine-tune some of their outfits to get them as close as possible with what's available in the base game Create-A-Sim content to the things that they wore in the movie. And then I will also be working on the aunts and Kylie and Antonia as well, so that we have a base game Practical Magic option for that. And I'll probably upload just the 2 sisters as one household and then all 6 of them in another household. So if you only want to play with Sally and Jillian, there's that option, and then there's the option with all of them as well. It'll take me some time to do, but whenever it's there, I'll put them up there and I'll let you know. So yeah, sorry that it crashed. I couldn't show you quite everything, but that's okay. There's plenty of stuff in this video anyway. I will probably not be getting the Realm of Magic game pack, by the way. That might be disappointing after I've been like talking about it this whole video, but just for financial reasons, there are a couple of stuff packs that I would probably actually get first, because there's just like things that I want to have with the base game, like the spooky stuff pack, obviously, because I want Halloween stuff to use in my builds. Oh, in this video, I was also going to talk about the Pufferhead Pack, but again, it crashed. But there is a free pack called the Pufferhead Pack. It is by a user called Mlys, M-L-Y-S. So if you Google Mlys Pufferhead Pack, you will find their website where you can download it for free. And getting it into your game is as simple as downloading the zip file of everything, or you can download just each individual item if you don't want the whole thing. But once you see what's there, I can't imagine why you wouldn't want the whole thing if you're a fan of Harry Potter and witchy type things. Downloading the zip file, extracting all the files, and then moving them into the mods folder of your game. And the user even has a little guide on the download page that tells you, if you've never done this before, this is where you're going to want to put it. This is the exact folder path that you want to look for. It was really easy. If I was able to figure it out, I have full faith that you will be able to figure it out too, because I didn't know anything about this stuff before looking at their website and reading how they said to do it, and now I have Pufferhead items. Yeah, so if you are a fan of Harry Potter related things in the real world, I think you will be a fan of the Henry Pufferhead pack that Mlys created, and it's free. So if you have just the base game like me and you're not looking to spend any more money, that's a great place to start. Do let me know if you already play The Sims or if you're still playing Sims 3 or anything like that. Let's chat. If you want to see more stuff like this, it'll probably end up being on my joint channel with my partner that we will have connected with our Twitch streaming, video game streaming stuff, and other things, but I'm not sure yet. Either way, let me know if you even want to see stuff like that, and I will let you know when it happens, where it happens, so you can find it. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Until then, don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.